That was an earthquake. That wasn't me moving the camera. Oops, didn't even go get no coffee though. Uh, hopefully I didn't just start a fire. What's up, Chipper? Man, I can't shoot the birds in the picture on my phone because then my phone would be broke. Hello, Rachel. I didn't go to the post office yet. Hey, Clifford. Uh, you know who all was in BA's live stream? We learned a very valuable lesson. On some foods, the date matters. Just because it may taste a little better when it's out of date doesn't mean it's any safer. We got Chipper, Rachel Knight, Mrs. West S, Clifford Baldwin, 80 O'Neill, and Carol W. Welcome to the world's bestest live stream ever. Hey, Kiri. Do you love me? I didn't get me any coffee before I started the live stream. Never mind. Your mom loves me. What's everybody got going on tonight? I'm gonna try to come up with some of the craziest things I've ever heard preppers talk about doing. Yeah. Y'all feel free to put stuff over there. Most of y'all should be blue. Bird did not show up. We actually spooked 3 birds on the walk back to the house, and we scared them off successfully. So we don't have to worry about them 3 coming back. The I don't know how to explain this. There's clay soil, really clay soil that way from me. That direction is really clay soil. And they got more rain over there than we did here. So there's literally, it filled all the little play lakes and bar ditches and stuff over there. And that stuff will stand muddy for 2 or 3 weeks. It'll be into September before they have a reason to fly back over here. I mean, there's pasture, there's lots of feed on the ground, but there's the water and stuff's over there, and they got all the bar ditches right next to the waters. And there's 3 really big hay fields over there that were cut last month. So they're 5 miles from the house. The end. Something like that. That's not crazy. Real copper pennies, saving real copper pennies is a good plan. A copper penny has a higher value as copper than as a penny. A copper penny is worth, depending on the market, anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 cents. And in the event of a economic collapse, where we were to go back to coinage or precious metals as payment, zinc pennies are not going to be worth anything. The split dimes and stuff, they'll have a value, but then your silver, your true silver dimes, your true silver quarters, all that they're going to be worth a whole lot more than a quarter. But coins will be something that, I fully think that the coins will come back. But the real copper, a real copper penny is going to be worth more. It has the potential to have value. Copper coins were worth more than other things. Basically, there were actually iron coins because metal had value. While he mowed grasshoppers. There's a lot of guys that shoot the birds when they're too far out. Not I said fly. What's up, Will? I think. Oh yeah, one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life, as far as prepping goes, is you need a 1,000 candle watt Olight flashlight that'll reach 3 miles or whatever. Wank. Wank. You turn that puppy on, and everybody for 20 miles is going to know where you're at. You can see 3 miles with it, which means they can see it in outer space. Thank you, honey, for the support. Oh. Yeah. Hey, Walter, how'd the thing go? According to the news, y'all all drowned. Did everybody drown? Y'all were all too drunk to manage what you were doing, running into each other, sinking of each other's boats. It was a horrible, horrible thing.
What?
Oh, Walter's. I was asking how his thing went. His voting for Trump.
What lake was he at?
I don't know, someplace in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
I don't go to Pennsylvania. I'm looking at your eyes over here, not over there. This is my hairstyle. It's quick. I still got her to braid my hair. Look, I missed the section. What's on the side?
Do what?
I missed some of my hair. Don't tell them. They'll never know. She gave me a Viking haircut. I'm a Viking now. I'm going to give me a battle axe and a big, long rowboat and like 40 slaves to row it. You help me with the slaves? You can be.
Do I get to be in charge of them as well?
You can be the guy with the whip, or gal with the whip, I guess.
Okay, sounds like a deal.
Now we just need to come up with 40 more. We could get a smaller boat, then we'd have to have less of them, or we could just cut them in for part of the tape in our irises. which would be better than having to beat them. And then,
But then they wouldn't
like,
be
there's only
slaves,
2 of
so
us,
they're
and there's like,
getting paid.
yeah, but there's only 2 of us, and there's like 40 of them. And even with a really good gun, they could get past it. And
I'll just say Shiloh one day. It'd be like my
Shiloh
dog.
doesn't get to go on the boat because he wants to eat all the rats. Okay. So, what? Who ate the bugs? Wife didn't leave him afterwards. Yeah. Okay, so you have a cat that's really well trained, right? To kill rats. And the cat's really smart, so it like catches too many rats for it to eat. And it gives it to the big woolly dogs that always harass it. And then the dogs learn that this animal is a good animal because it's always bringing you nice, juicy treats. Why would you want to be getting mean and yelling at the poor dog just because the nice kitty gives him something juicy to eat?
Because it was a huge dead rat, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, it was fresh. It was fresh
That
red
doesn't
meat.
make it any less gross because he drools on me.
That dog does slobber a lot.
He has like the mastiff type face that like hangs down or whatever, so it's like anytime he does anything, it's like and there's like slobber everywhere.
What is he again? An Anatola Pyrenees?
Anatolian Shepherd and Great Pyrenees. So Anatolian Pyrenees is what they're technically called. Where is
How old is he?
He was born February 1st, so he is 7 months old.
7 months old, and he's already a full 8 inches higher than Sadie at the shoulder.
Probably about 6. He's probably got her by a little bit of weight though, even though she's.
Yeah, he's got her on weight, and he's skinny.
Whenever he stands up on his back legs, he comes to like right eyeballs.
His
He stands up straight.
head is probably, honestly, head's probably this long.
He was a big puppy.
He's a good dog. Making friends with him because he's the Anatolian. And Anatolian, if you get him and you just keep him like as a house pet and it's just you and the dog, then the Anatolian has the tendency not to like other people. So I'm making an effort to be friends with the dog, like letting my cat feed him.
You pet him and stuff too.
Yeah, there's that.
I forgot what it came. It's me trying to read your screen.
Oh, no.
My hair's turning into a fluff ball. I need to go curl it. It's beautiful. My hair's still darker than mine. Okay, I'm gonna go fix it.
If you just leave your hair alone and let that dishwater blonde come out, you'd be prettier. There's nothing wrong with the natural color of your hair, you little brat.
Why do you think I haven't bleached it
In like 2 weeks? I don't know.
No, I haven't bleached this in 3 months or 4. It's been a while. My roots are this freaking long.
Are you going dancing?
Where would I go dance at?
I don't know. Do I look like there's somebody in my 20s that knows where you go dancing?
I mean, I'd have to drive all the way to Abilene to do that. To like Guitars and Cadillacs. And I don't even know if they're open.
Okay.
But no.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Don't make that go psst. I'm fed up with all these stores that say you got to wear masks in them because I don't. But when you walk in there and there's so much disinfectant hanging in the air that it literally causes you to have an asthma attack, they've gone too flippin' far. The reek of alcohol in these stores, the level of evaporating alcohol in these stores is got to be approaching lethal levels. Sooner or later, one of these Walmarts is going to burst into flames. spray I'll use. Well, I hate that for you, Walter. Um, was there not a buoy on it? But the only video rather I saw on it was some Bloomberg thing making it sound like the people in Lake Travis didn't know what they were doing and everybody drowned. I was like, what? So,
This is not that important. Sorry, I don't know who here, but it's kind of important. So, hey, dudes, if your girlfriend or wife is like, my hair won't do what I want it to, but just washed it. All you gotta do is use some sea salt texturing spray or some dry shampoo, and her hair will be just fine. It'll behave right after she washes it. Mine's not behaving, so I just figured I'd come in here and say that. It's making me mad. Then I was like, hey,
and it would be okay for the husband to turn to his lovely wife and say something like, hey, shut up your complaining and just go put some sea salt conditioner in there and you'll be fine.
I mean, not exactly
like that. So how would a man word it? How could a man safely word it?
Hey, honey, remember you have that stuff that you spray in your hair, that texture-y stuff? Not like he's gonna really know what he's talking about, but if he just remembers like texture or the word dry shampoo, he's good to go.
Y'all hear that? Okay, how does one approach the question? Honey, does this dress make my butt look big?
Yeah, but I like
Honest?
your fat ass.
Okay.
I
mean, y'all heard it. She said it was okay to say that. Not me. Not that advice is not coming from me. I didn't go to the post office, no. It was after 4 when I left the job and the post office place of Majiggers closed after that. I guess they may have had it in a box. I'll go tomorrow. They may have put it in. If it's not a big box, they'll put it in one of those grab boxes. The individual picked it up at the post office? That's why I'm not getting any mail at the post office.
I hope not. I mean, I hope it's not true, but see. It says delivered. Individual picked up.
Also, it could be that your mom's like 12-year-old straightener sucks butt.
The last several times I've checked my post office box, there's been nothing in there.
Maybe it's wrong, but I just.
Not even junk mail, though.
I know there's not been nothing in it, but hopefully it's not true.
If it is, then well, they've got cameras. Anyway. No, I'm good. I wasn't bringing that up. Honestly, she was like, would you like one of these? And I said, yes. And she made me a fried bologna sandwich. All right, I get my brain right now. So, may I ask a question or something? I gotta get back on track, and it's not working for me. My brain is on something right now, and it's running 100,000 miles an hour, trying to figure out what's going on. Um, but nobody mailed me anything else until I figure out what's going on. Because I was wondering why I was getting nothing. Now I know. So, FADS, what's that? Oh, uh, prepping fads. Mistake one in chicken farming is ordering more than 10 or 15 Cornish crosses at a time. Actually, paying $3 for a baby chick that it's going to take you another $2 worth of feed, $3 worth of feed to get to butchering size, and then putting all the work into butchering it, when you can go to the store and buy the chicken for $5 already butchered. Don't do that. Now, if you're going to go ahead and run them up to, they're a little heavier, yeah, that's okay. But if you're only going to feed them for 8 to 10 weeks, then, and you can only freeze so much bird. You can only can so much bird. And the Cornish cross, say you feed them for 10 weeks, you wind up with 6 to 8 pounds of meat off each bird if you feed them, if you max out their feed. So you're looking at each bird is a day's protein for 3 people or 4. And you got a 8 pound bird, takes up a lot of room in the freezer. Just, don't order 50, 60, 100 of them. And if you can get them for a few cents a chick, the last 2 times we bought the Cornish cross chicks, it's because they had them on clearance, and I got it for 50 cents a bird. 50 cents a bird plus $3 of feed, it's $3.50 a bird. It's cheaper than you can get them at the store. So you got to do the math on everything when you're homesteading. Cornish cross, they cannot. I mean, you can put them in a truck a chicken truck or whatever and move them around. But they cannot run and escape predators. After 4 weeks, they're just not going to run. Okay. They do, but where, that Saturday morning cartoon where Bill Cosby did all the voices or whatever, that one kid that's politically incorrect to say his name now, but the last part of it was Albert. They're just not a good bet. Now I had the name of the chicken in my head until I forgot it. There's a breed of chicken that's white. I think it might be white rock. They get nearly as large as the Cornish crosses. It takes them a lot longer, but they lay medium white eggs. Okay. So if you're going to do this, have those birds in your flock. There's a lot of breeds out there that you can't get anymore. There are some breeds that aren't worth having. Bantams are not. They're not worth the time and the energy. Americanas are really an independent chicken, and they're really good foragers, and they're really good at free ranging and stuff like that. They're also super broody. Or the second generations are anyway. Yeah, that was a really good deal. How come all the people wear pajamas at Wally World? They're going right back home to watch more Netflix and eat all them Cheetos. See, what's another thing that I saw somebody suggesting that was a bad idea? Or a good idea that people were saying was a bad idea. Saying that you have to have Mylar bags to put your food storage in. It's in a bucket for crying. Are you taking your food grade bucket, putting your food in it, and then setting it out in the sun? Answer honestly. Is the food that you are putting in that bag, is it susceptible to electromagnetic pulse? The Mylar is to block UV. That's it. Unscented black trash bag inside the bucket. Fill it up. Tie it off. Put a lid on it. You can even run a vacuum on it to a degree. So saying you can't put up any more food because you can't find Mylar bags. I'm not saying Mylar bags are a bad idea. I'm saying they're not a necessary thing. If you're trying to put it up and make it last for 25, 30 years, good. But quite a bit of the wheat that I have back there. It's just straight up in a bucket with a gasket on it. All you got to do is keep it. Yeah, it's got the diatomaceous in it, but you got to remember to rinse that. So, yeah, you got a brand new chitty and everything out of that deal.
I know else fellas just get big sexy hair and then it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Let me see.
It's just,
Actually, I thought you did that before.
I mean, I kind of did. But,
You have to. You're like only
oh,
showing
I
half of
can't
your-
see.
There.
I messed it up. I also can't see. Hold on.
Smells pretty. See. Seriously, I mean, I'm not busting on people's chops for using Mylar. I'm just saying that you're wasting your time if you don't put it in Mylar. Stop saying that. You're saying, okay, you're telling people, okay, I mean, I can buy this rice really cheap, but I don't have Mylar to put it in, so it's going to go bad next year. Why are you messing with people's stuff like that? I mean, Mylar is kind of hard to get right now, plus it's not free. For the price of 20 Mylar bags, you can buy another 10 bags of rice or 10 pounds of rice. Which one tastes better? The Malay chickens, those are those freaking flying bastards, I think, ain't they? Say again? Yeah. The I got like my red suspenders on my camel. I'm pretty sure it's,
Okay, I got my glasses and I fixed it.
I think you look nice.
Hey, I can see the screen now.
I have the resolution turned down, so we're glossy. It's glossy.
Like, it looks like there's something on my lips and I haven't even put chapstick on yet. It's weird.
Here's something you didn't get that.
Love you.
Love you too, brother. Behave yourself.
I mean,
You will do nothing that I would have done at your age.
you were 25, so I'm 25.
If you plan on doing anything I would have done at 25 when you leave this house, I'm taking your keys.
Do what?
What? 25 was pre your mom.
Oh, well, here, let me, disclaimer thing or whatever. I've never done drugs. I smoked pot like 4 times and I hate it, so we're good there. No one worth the crap having sex with here, so that's not gonna happen.
Okay, you can go.
Okay.
Oh, hey, yeah, hey, I guess I could say hi, C103 Mark person. I took my AR out the other day because I had sighted it in and everything was good. But I was out there and it was still day, and I was like, let me just shoot this rock, and it went low. So I said, oh man, you need to practice shooting. So I shot at the rock again. It went low again. So I don't know if somebody was messing with it or whatever, but it wasn't. I had to readjust it. Unless my depth perception was that far off. I don't think so. think I still know what 100 yards looks like. But I need to go put it on a bench. How many of y'all sight your rifles in and then leave them in the closet all year long, or gun safe, or wherever, and then take them out and go climb up in the deer blind or whatever, and then complain because you have to walk 1.5 miles to find your deer because you didn't go to the range? It wasn't the gun that missed the shot. Chances are, if it was on when you put it up, it's still on, but it's operator error because your finger forgot what it was doing. There are so many things that go into hitting with whatever. I mean, I've got, I borrow a few rifles here and there, and all of them are different. All of them have a little bit different trigger pull. All of them have a little different pressure. All of them have a little bit different stock. They're, you can't buy two 700s and expect them to be, you can't, learn to shoot one and jump over at the other one and expect it to shoot exactly the same. If you have a Mosin Nagant and you're used to the trigger pull on your Mosin Nagant, and you take my Mosin Nagant, you're going to discharge the round before you're ready for it to go down range, because I cut my trigger pull in half. It's none of your business. I can't show you how to do that. That's what I'm saying. I mean, not all guns are the same. You need to shoot your weapon. I've got it, and I'm going to store all this. That's another thing. Just having the ammo and having the weapon is not. It's not really a fad, but if you can't have range time, I proved that to myself the other day. Actually, I proved it to myself when I went to San Antonio the first time and missed all them pigs. And because I hadn't shot a long gun in probably 12 or 14 months. Bye, baby girl. Remember, we are going to get up in the morning and go hunting. Okay. But you gotta go down and put a few of them down range. What's up, Shiloh? Come on, buddy. See you. That's it. Come on. Come here. Come here. Most people do, Mark. Most people. Well, let me. I'm going to challenge your statement. Responsible people do. I've told this story before on here. We went to the range, or we went not to the range. We went deer hunting, and all of my children are more than proficient at shooting with a long gun. Mine and Mrs. West's two oldest boys are actually very good with a long gun. Okay. In boot camp, Leland got beat out by 3 or 4 guys for being top shot. Uh, something may have been more than that. I can't remember. Daddy remembering making stuff better. I've told the stories about her in there. I have seen my middle boy make shots at 150 and 200 yards with an iron sight that there's no way I wouldn't even have tried. And anyway, we all got a shot at animals. We all took shots at animals. None of us hit. Well, actually, I hit the fawn that was standing 2 foot in front of and 10 foot behind the animal I was shooting at. So we checked it. Somebody had rolled all the scopes off. Put 3 full rounds to the left on every one. If that doe I was shooting at,
Did you give one of her keys back?
chances are not good. Tell me, say, look, you're just gonna have to jingle pants. Hold on. Sadie's gonna have to keep y'all company for a minute.
Mechanical difficulties, actually. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. They cannot see you. You're too far down there. Come here. Hold on. Come here. Try. Come here. Now come here. Shy. Come here. Oh, the little one's up here. Here you go, little buddy. Come here, hello. Come here. Come here. He's not gonna. There's too much stuff in here making noise.
Yeah, we go.
Here.
I know. Oh, we did knock on the
Come here, Shy. Come on, Bubby. Come here, Bubby doggy. Hey. Come here. Everyone should know what you look like by now. This is my little old man. I've had him since I was 16. It's like 9 years almost. It'll be 9 years in November. Okay, goodbye. He wouldn't come to me. He started making noise at the back.
Yeah, being a dog, being an annoying little dog, or not little, but young. Space Ghost. It's not worrying about the gun being off. That's where everybody thinks. I mean, once my gun's on, it's on. You have to refresh your muscle memory. I mean, you can refresh your body to the weapon before you go, and then you only need one shot. I put 20 rounds before I went on the hunt. That's wound up 8 or 9 day hunt or whatever. I put 20 rounds, I think, downrange with that 270 before I put it in the case to go down there. Took 2 deer. And a hog. The hog was on the run. I actually got 2 of them, couldn't find the sow. Did the same thing with the AR and then never got to shoot anything with it. But when you need to get you ready, if you do it all day, I mean, like when the Indians were going out on a buffalo hunt, they didn't ride around for, and shoot 10 arrows into a dead tree or whatever so they'd be able to stick the buffalo. It's something they did all the time. I don't know, they might have, because you never know. But you get you ready, you refresh yourself. And just because you did something in the military, and this is not aimed at anybody specific, just because you did it 10 or 15 years ago when you was in, you've been couch potato for the past however, because you got out and you didn't want to deal with that anymore. Just because you knew how to do it when you were in there doesn't mean you know how to do it now. It's here, but it may not be everywhere else anymore. Point of reference, I shot darts with Robert in there. I was actually on the board for ADA, and there were people below me. And I went down there and I got my butt handed to me because I hadn't thrown darts in 2.5 years. Stop doing something, you lose the muscle memory, and that's it. I actually have, for my 270, I have ammunition that is loaded for the deer blind, which you're going to be shooting between 75 and 150 yards. The end. 90% of your shots are going to be at 100 yards. So you sight your rifle in at 100 yards. You use a load that is going to make the best pattern at 100 yards. The best pattern at 100 yards is not necessarily going to be the one that packs a punch past that. I've got 150, 167, and 172 grain slugs for my 270. I believe is right. I'd have to look at the thing. But the carton is actually whatever. And on the 160, maybe 160, the 160 at the mid range, there's actually 2 different powder loads for those. You won't die. Herd immunity doesn't go away after 3 months. That's retarded. if they checked the entire, if they lined everybody up and gave them the antibody test or whatever, just about everybody would show that they've already had it. Just calm down. That's my opinion on it. I can't go into it because I'm on good standings with YouTube right now as far as rating my own for monetization or not monetization. So we'll talk about that over there on West Hustler Real when all y'all want to. But yeah, my super dough from spending my day at the jury duty thing came in. That's a whole box of birdshot right there. So anyway, I wonder if they let me do that. Go in there and decide to check and hand it to them. We'll try that. But I don't want to get him in trouble. But even when we go outside, it would come off. But I live in a Republican stronghold, so there's the difference. We believe that since we pay scientists good money for them to tell us the truth, that we should probably go with what they say. So, see, what's anybody got another fad out there that as far as getting your gun out and on target and stuff, dry fire, snap caps, whatever, the little yay us. But that doesn't tell you if you're on target. The end. It's only one way. I tried to shoot my long 22 the other day and I was missing with it. I'm like, what? True, Mark Chase, but again, you can't say that Brimton 700, 270, and what is my Ruger again? Ruger 77, I think is what I got. Are going to shoot the same with the same load. They're not gonna throw the same pattern. My brother actually owned two 270s and the 700 and the Ruger shot completely different. He strongly recommended that one did not run the heavy slugs in the 700 because it went from a 3-inch pattern to a 5-inch pattern because the barrel vibration was that much more intense. Barrel vibration matters. So, and everything, not as much in a regular rifle as it does in an air rifle, but it still matters. See, what is another fad that everybody is saying that is a load of crap? There's still people coming out and saying that the bug out bag is a total waste of time. And I'm sorry, but I beg to differ. Hey, Bitty Boo. Yeah, they can keep it. A lot of the bug out bags that you can buy that are pre-made, they're retarded. And a lot of the bug out bag videos that I've watched, I'm like, yeah, that's not a bug out bag. And we need to start. God, there's a difference between a get home bag, a bug out bag, and an inch bag. There is. An inch bag, everything's got 2 or 3 or 4 uses. I mean, an inch bag has an axe in it. It may just be a small camping axe, but it's got an axe in it. It's got a silky saw in it. Bug out bag don't. A bug out bag may have a small saw of some kind, depending on if you're bugging out to your bug out location. And not everybody with a bug out bag has a bug out location. I know bug out is a military term. That's not what we used to describe it with. We're not doing a military bug out. We're not running away from this base to another base. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has a base to go to. So their bug out bag should be more like a I'm never going home bag or coming home bag. Or what's the other one? Get out of Dodge. That's, I'm headed to the hills and hoping for the best. That is when you break the line. That is when you realize that, I'm not planning on doing a firefight out there. So I'm not carrying 50 pounds of ammo. Do a demonstration here. Ah. 100 rounds of 5.56. 100 rounds of 22 long rifle. Did I say that right? This is like 50 rounds. It's a freaking. Yeah, it's 50 rounds. This is 50 and 100. Same weight. Less than many bullets. Plastic magazine. 20 rounds in the plastic magazine and 100 rounds. Same weight. Yeah, 20 rounds in it. Let's check with 30. Yeah, there it is. 100 rounds, 30 rounds. This is lighter than 30 rounds in the magazine. And it's a plastic magazine. for the cost of 2, for the cost of 60 rounds. I have 200 food getters. Stop saying that the 22 is not any good, and stop saying that I wouldn't want to my life to depend on it. It's, I don't care what size the hole is. You poke a hole and 99.9% of the people out there giving you grief, and the fight's over. Especially when there's not going to be all that chemical assistance running around. This isn't Z Nation or whatever, where the new currency is, what is it, Oxy or whatever. The Z Nation, where they didn't have money, they just traded everything in the drug or whatever. That stuff's going to be gone in the first 30 days, man. Hey, Steve. Does anybody want to join this live stream? I didn't think about it. I could have offered that like an hour ago. Simple. If I invite you into my live stream, we're not talking no politics, no medical, and G-rated language only. That's the only thing. No current affairs. Can't do it. I mean, I just got all them strikes off my channel. I don't want to do anymore. Just taking me 2 months to get back up to We Trust You. Let's see. I think I've got your email, Walter. You gotta bear with me now. It's taking me on another screen. It's probably got y'all on the circle of death now. Evidently, I do not have you on. That would be okay because that's not exactly current. Uh, Walter, I thought we had emailed each other. All right, Corsair, I sent you a link, dude. You don't have to join if you don't want to. Just I was trying to invite Walter, but I can't find his email, and I don't remember stuff like that. So, 60 is that in their pack? What about all the other stuff? Because I don't think they count the ammo. Why is it not coming up when I try to? Try again. Oops, what's my name? I'm not getting. Hold on, where? There's 8 popping in. Did he put his email up or something? Because it's not showing on my deal. Try this one. I can't hear you. No, that's not working here. Hold on a second. Let me quit this. Hold on, Ed. I'm gonna let you in, and then you can keep them busy for me. Maybe.
Hi.
Let me fix
got-
fix her picture.
Yeah, you sent me an email.
Yeah, I was trying to get Walters to come up, but I've tried every spelling of his name and can't get nothing to come up.
She just whacked it in the side chat.
Oh, that was never going.
Been in the chat for 15 minutes.
It's not. I don't have the chat open. I have. Uh, the other thing open, and if nobody does the approves, and I don't get to see it. You're supposed to be educating them, dude. How many of you get this, dude? Thank you, ma'am.
Huh?
Okay. There you go. Lost a video. He may have turned his camera off. Oh, no, there he is. He's back.
Yeah, I just had to sort out a couple of things.
Okay, well, I sent you a Doom of Flicky. You can join or not or whatever. I sent Steve one. And that's what you would carry. What you would carry in the Army is not what you would have to carry to keep yourself alive for a month. Think about it. There's a whole line of guys behind you keeping you in groceries and bullets when you're in the military. That you don't have that when you're bugging out in civilian life, which I don't understand. I mean, that's the whole idea behind networking and stuff like that. I really hope, and we need to, if we get lucky and we can get Corsair back in here, we need to revisit this conversation with him in here. He has the ability to speak on that. I mean, I can throw an opinion out there, an educated opinion, but not any with any real experience as far as what you carry or what you don't carry or whatever when you're in the military. But call me whatever kind of names you want to. I don't have any body armor. I do not plan on getting in a firefight. I have given serious thought for getting me a bicycle helmet in case somebody whacks me over the head with a baseball bat. I just don't want helmet hair. So,
Yeah, just get a
and I don't
helmet.
want to run around with a motorcycle helmet on because those things are hot as crap. But you know, a decent motorcycle or bicycle helmet, it's going to keep you from going lights out. It's still going to ring your bell, but I'd rather have my bell rung than my lights out. Give me a second.
Oh, you back? Thanks for just for that.
I don't know what a snowboarding helmet looks like, LA Prepper.
Mountain climbing helmet.
Yeah, I know those are pretty nice. The helmets they
They're
have for
pretty good.
I guess a good one would be an equestrian helmet. They're actually pretty light, but all they are skull caps for like motorcycle riding or whatever. I don't know if you know what a skull cap is. They're just the top part of your head. I don't know what the real word for them is. That's I call them skull caps. Then dishes. So how's the weather in Great Britain there, Aid?
We're getting either a day of rain or a day of hot sunshine.
That's the same as everywhere else, I think. So basically, Great Britain is just like everywhere else.
My town's opening up again. Pubs and cafes are opening up, but not in the night time, just in the daytime. Nightclubs aren't open yet.
Yeah. We've actually got cool weather for the next several days. It's supposed to be right at 90 for a high all the way until Tuesday, and then it's supposed to drop down Wednesday. The high is supposed to be like 58 or something like that. Low is supposed to be 40s. So I don't need to be. Ventilation buttons.
My new work ID gets here in hopefully a week or so I can get back to work then.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
This whole going back to work stuff is not as much fun as I thought it was going to be. I don't know. The first little bit of the shutdown, I was actually staying pretty busy. And then I guess everybody decided they were going to do it themselves, which was okay with me. Is having a live show a crazy perfect pet? Yes, Sister Kate, it is actually. So,
Hi, Sister Kate.
I just don't think that every household needs a major first aid kit. We've still got a lot of work to do on our first aid stuff here, because it's not, prepping, you're actually moving past first aid. Our medicine cabinet has stuff like bilberry in it, and just in case our goldfish gets sick, and just in case somebody, I don't know, eats out of date sour cream and whatever. What was the other thing? I was asking for trouble. out of date sour cream and nuts. That was nuts.
And I've got tons of disinfectant. I've got a gallon of super concentrate disinfectant, bandages, steri wipes. But I could do with more, obviously.
I am sick of not being able to find isopropyl alcohol. I thought we had enough put up until this happened, and I did not realize how fast we went through that stuff around here. And again, I don't want to have to walk around with it. I want it to be light. That's why the bicycle helmet or the equestrian helmet sticks in my head. Motorcycle helmets are heavy, and that they're not bad when you're sitting down, cruising up and down the road. I wear one when I ride a bike because, the popo ain't got to tell me that if I fall off of that puppy at 50 miles an hour and bash my head onto the concrete, I'm gonna have trouble. They don't have to tell me that. I'm not stupid.
Well, my Kevlar's pretty light.
Well, there's pretty light and there's light. If you don't have 10 pounds only in front of your chest and 10 pounds behind your chest, you just saved yourself 20 pounds. It's that simple. But my situation is different than other people's situation. I know for a fact my knees aren't going to take that. I mean, it'd be silly.
Well, motocross body armor's like really thick plastic, so it'll take blunt instruments, but obviously not ammo.
Yeah, but you can shut blunt instruments down with a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and it don't weigh nothing. That's what I need to do. I actually found something in that house that I started to throw them in the dumpster, and I was like, wait a minute, I could go full on Mad Max with that stuff, so I'm gonna hang on to it. It's tire tread samples. What the guys do with them, I don't know. I don't care, but I figured some tire tread shoulder pads, and stuff. There's only 3 of them. If there was 4, it would be cooler. Make some football pads that were out of tire tread.
Oh, like Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight up Mad Max Road Warrior stuff. Me and Rob still need to. Well, Rob needs to do it. If he doesn't do it pretty quick, I'm gonna do it. He actually run a test in his yard on bulletproofing. He built a little wall, put a 1/2-inch plywood on either side of 2x4s, and then filled it with pea gravel and shot it. I think it was 50 yards with a 308. It stopped the bullet. Just plywood and 4 inches of pea gravel. Now, it made a mark on the other side, but it didn't go all the way through. So that's a lot of weight, but that'd be a really easy way to do something about the bottom 4 foot of your house. People think, well, my house is brick. Yeah, brick will slow it down.
Yeah, large caliber will just tear the brick apart.
Do not hide behind a cinder block fence and expect it to do you any good. That I can tell you, a 22 Magnum will punch a hole right through the cavity in a cinder block fence. I mean, it'll go in one side and right out the other side at 50 yards. Just so you know. A 270 makes a big hole in it, and it's actually the shrapnel coming off the backside of the center block is actually pretty lethal. Now, if you pour the cavities full of cement, concrete, whatever, then yeah, different story. But then you might as well just frame up and pour your fence. Was it Lubbock Yellow Pages will stop at 22, but it will not stop at 222. So. I've been in this stuff for a long time, man. I've read so many things. You used to be able to, in the back, like the Thrifty Nickels and the Mother Earth News and stuff like that, there were these little articles, for $3 or $4 you could buy a pamphlet telling you how to do all this amazing stuff with all these really good ideas. I may not have spent money on junk like that when I was younger. And I tried some of this stuff out, and yeah, some of it's true, a bunch of it wasn't. A bunch of it was these guys putting this stuff down in paper, but I don't know, maybe a New York City phone book, I guess they might stop more than a Lubbock phone book. But
It's a bit bulky, though, isn't it? And how big is it? Can it cover so much of your chest?
I've actually shot through. Well, now they'll stop a pistol, but think about it. It's a surface area that matters on something. A 45 does not have the penetrating power that a 357 does, because the 357 is moving faster and it's got a smaller surface area. That 45 is going to hit you harder than the 357. Yeah, but those things are way ballistically sound, sister. I'm talking just normal, like you're trying to stop people with deer rifles and ARs. Or at least make it to where if you hide on the inside room of your house that you're safe. And if you've got siding, plywood, rock, plywood, drywall, and as far as that goes, you could go, you can put 24 gauge iron on between the drywall and the inside plywood. And yeah, that's actually a tornado proof wall. It will stop a 2x4 at however many miles an hour. I can't remember what. Anyway, a 2x4 that'll go all the way through a house won't go through that wall. Wearing an old phone book, you might as well get the steel plate. But what's it? What did Einstein say? World War III is going to be nuclear, but World War IV is going to be sticks and stones. So I think you'd be better off learning how to fight hand to hand, or maybe shoot a bow, or throw an atlatl, or chunk a knife, or throw a hatchet or, you know, do some cosplay for the Viking festivals. And when you get invited, I should have done that. That would have been so much fun. When you get invited to go in there and fight with axes and swords and stuff, sign up. I mean, you're going to get the crap beat out of you the first 5 or 6 times. So what? It's a learning experience. Rock and sling is good. The sling staff, that puppy's deadly. And it's reasonably easy to learn to do. Plus, you've got, I mean, 2 birds with 1 stone. You've got a distance weapon and a close-in weapon. You know, if there's more than one guy, you take one of them out with a rock from the sling, and then you've got a 6-foot staff to work on the other one with. Hey, anonymous American.
Hey, double A. Well, all my weapons are for close combat use. I've got a double jointed mace, machete, and I've got this dry stone wall hammer, which looks just like a tomahawk.
Yeah, that's if you take. I'm glad you brought that up, Baby. I've actually wanted to do a video on this, and I may go ahead and go through it now. A drywall hammer. Okay, if you take a drywall hammer and hold it up, and take up a war hammer and hold it up side to side, they're almost identical.
Yeah. When I saw it in the shop, I went, that's a tomahawk. So I bought it. It cost me £13 because it was on sale.
They're, I mean, you contact with that little round nail part, and their bell's wrong. The end. Then you've got the hook, you've got the spike end of it, whatever. I mean, there's Thor's hammer was bigger than your average war hammer, but it didn't look, you know, the cartoon's hammer was a big old thing. A Viking warhammer was very small. It was a hammer on a long handle. The end. It's so they could get past the shield with it, with the hook, pull it open, and then one of the guys behind you with another spear could go past that and then poke that guy that was behind the shield. It was.
Yeah, that's why I've got a double jointed mace. So it's got a loop on the end. If I put a piece of string through that, a piece of rope through that, it's then like a treble jointed mace. So when I swing it round, I can actually hit someone back of the head with it. That's why I bought it.
The what's that game they play? Somebody with culture will probably know it. There's a basket that you put on your arm, and it's actually a curved basket. It kind of comes out and it's curved.
Is that lacrosse?
That's inside. It's inside.
It's attached to your arm, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
And the balls are actually wooden, I believe. Maybe wooden or stone. Anyway, these are 200 miles an hour or something like that. I forget what the speed. Anyway, basically, you're slingshotting rocks at each other, and those guys play with body armor on for a reason, because those things are lethal. It became a sport, but prior to that, those were weapons of war, because you could literally chunk a rock at somebody at over 100 miles an hour and put them out of the fight.
Right, imagine changing the rock to something that goes bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hope the fuse doesn't hang up in your deal. But yeah, there's all this stuff out there that people,
Like a hand motor.
half the sports in the Olympics were whatever. There was a reason the javelin was made like it was. They were designed to get thrown at other people coming at you. And they weren't a close in hand to hand. There's spears, there's lances, there's javelins. When you're hunting with an atlatl, you get in close and you chunk it like a dart. When you're using it for a range weapon and you're trying to rain death down on people, you throw it like a baseball. And you throw it up in the air and it goes up and it comes down. There's different stuff for everything. One of the best shows on cable ever was when they did the fights between the different ancient peoples or whatever. Like they put a pirate against a knight, and a Aztec against a Mayan, and a samurai against Roman, stuff like that. I can't remember what the show was called. It was really a good show because they went through and showed what all the weapons, what they were designed to do. And it was weird. Like everybody thinks, oh, longbow this, longbow that. The longbows were 100-pound draw minimum. An English longbow, I think, to get to shoot arrows at people with your longbow, it had to be a 100-pound draw. And they'll go up to 200 pounds. There's very few people can do a 200-pound draw, but a 200-pound draw longbow has equal force to a freaking medieval crossbow. That's crazy to me. I mean, I have a it's like an 80-pound, 75, 80-pound longbow in there. So I don't get to go play. But dude, that's hard to pull, man. It's because the further back you get it, the harder it is. It's not like a compound where you sit on 80 and you've only got to do a few inches of 80 and then you wind up at 40. It's you're cranking the whole way. The further you pull it back, by the time you get to their set point, you're like, ow. I can't imagine actually having to pull that back and hold. I'd be like, boss, you get ready for me to shoot, you let me know, and then I'll pull back.
Imagine doing it constantly like at Agincourt, just one after the other continuously.
Yeah. What's that one old boy on here? He does he's been shooting the longbow he started it to give himself something to do anyway. And now he's got a video out there showing what it's done to his body. And when he flexes at the back, one side of his body is bigger than the other, but then you go to the other from the front and he flexes and it looks like the other side's bigger because he's pushing with this one and pulling with the other one, and it's like it's literally twisted his body. He shot it for so long. And these like
tennis players have much bigger right arms than they do left arms.
Yeah, world's greatest warrior. That was it, I think. And whoever knows how to say J Alay, J Alay, or whatever, however you say that, I don't know how to say that. Hey, I thought Aztecs and the Mayans, they actually didn't cover as much ground as I thought they did. They always make it sound like they covered all this ground and they had all these big whatevers. They're pretty much, the Mayans were actually kind of big, I guess. I was researching that the other day just because I could. I think mostly because I was bored. Now I've forgotten it also. High ally. High ally. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really right. But honestly, I've been a big proponent of archery for a long time because you can build a bow. I've proved that you can build a bow in your backyard with a hatchet and a machete and a pocket knife. Arrows are a lot more work, honestly. Arrow is a lot harder to make than a good bow. If you've got the right wood, that's the trick. I'm not putting all that work into Orange Osage. It's, it's a good bow, but it's way too fragile when you can just use Arizona cypress or any one of 100 other trees out there that maintain their flexibility. One of the things, and I've got a couple out there curing pomegranate. Heard a rumor that you can make a bow out of pomegranate, so I'm gonna try it.
Do your older churches have yew trees in them?
Do I?
Your older churches, ones that like are over 100 years old, 150 years old, do they have yew trees in them? Because traditionally in the UK, all churches have yew trees in the ground somewhere. So I would think that when they were building churches in America 150 years ago or so, tradition, they may have yew trees in the grounds.
I don't know if the yew tree grows in North America.
It would have been imported.
They would have had them, and I don't know. There may be some up north or whatever.
It's just a thought. That's all. I don't know, but it would. A lot of people brought things over from the old world to the new world.
I don't know. That's something
to carry things on. That's all.
I don't know. It's like that tree I found that I'm going to make that one bow out of. That's actually somebody brought it over here from Japan. And now it's running wild up and down the creek. It's a beautiful little wood there. But it's, that tree is for building temples because it doesn't ever rot. It just happens to be also very flexible and blah, blah, blah. And think about it. You're on an island where you get hurricanes and typhoons. And if your timber's flexible and doesn't snap when the building bends, that would be a good thing. So, yeah, werewolf, but on that, I think they one-sided that to the Spets too far. Because didn't the Spetsnaz win that one, if I remember right? But that could just be the American talking to me. I know that pirate cheated. He shot the knight right in the chest with a blunderbuster, which made me want a blunderbuster.
That's the image I got, Ted. The opening titles to Miami Vice.
Say again?
What Ted Simmons says there, Miami Vice. When you were talking about it, the image I got was actually the opening titles to Miami Vice, because there's a guy using one in that, the 80s Miami Vice.
Oh. Oh, yeah. True, werewolf. I mean, we got to give it that. I mean, And they did say that on there that the pirate was a pirate and he wasn't going to fight fair. While the knight would have fought in fair, which is a load of crap. Knights were just rich people with better bullets or better armor and gear than everybody else back in the day. They were still just rich people. So they were going to do whatever it took to go home alive. The end. So anybody, back to anybody got any more fads they want to talk about? Anybody got any more prepper fads that are a load of snot? Here's one. Don't buy the gear until you know how to use it.
Those really cheap survival kits you can get that are like $15. I've seen those being advertised all over my social media. They were like last year and the year before. Everything you need for £15 or $15, and it's absolute crap that's in them.
Sister Kate, I don't think you are. It's 14th century. That would be the 1500s. Spain found South America in 1492 and stole everything cool there was about South America, including potatoes.
Yeah, that's nonsense, Rachel. It really is, yeah. Mr. Grills has a lot of transfer with that.
Okay, that's one thing, and I try not to talk about stuff like this because people give me enough grief about what I talk about as it is. Drinking your own urine is not really prepper fat, it's a survival fat. Let me explain something to you, okay? The first time through, if you know that you're in the middle of the desert and you've got to walk a full day, and you have no water. One time. Don't save it the second time. Just let it go. Yes, it's bad for you. Yes, it's disgusting. But it's not going, and you can't, if you wake up and you piss in the bottle and it looks like Tang, it's too concentrated. Drinking your own urine over and over and over again is just going to make matter worse. It becomes drinking seawater. But if you're trying to walk out of a place to where if you don't have anything to drink at all that day, you're only going to make it 5 miles, and you need to go 7. There you go. Because it does add fluid back to your body the first time around. It's not, now, don't drink nobody else's. I believe it was 12 British soldiers were captured in Saudi Arabia. They were sold as slaves to a caravan. The guy that had them was using them for slave labor, but he was headed to a place where there was a British fort. His intent was to sell them for a profit back to the British Empire. It's a true story. I don't remember the names and stuff, but there was only like 6 or 4 of these guys that made it there. The guys that made it there were the ones that realized that occasionally even camels take a piss. And when the camel would cut the whiz, that's where they got their drinking water. That's how they made it across the desert. I read the book. It was disgusting. But they lived. The guys that were too civilized to partake of such behavior did not make it across the desert. Because honestly, the guy got him in a great deal. The only ones he really was trying to keep alive was the officers. So he'd give them a little bit of water. The other guys did get water. They decided they weren't going to die. So yes, but you can damage your kidneys. You can risk damaging your kidneys or dying in the desert. And there's, let's see, walking at night in the desert is perfectly fine because there's no thorns, there's no cactus, there's no rattlesnakes, there's no scorpions, there's no black widows, there's, hold on a minute, wait, yeah, there's all those things. Moving in the early light and the waning light. Yeah. And if you got a full moon and you can stay clear of all your stuff or whatever, but no moon, new moon, walking in the desert at night, it just doesn't happen. I do know the desert. And you can make a solar still if you've got the time. But you're going to lose half of the liquid. Now, if you're in a desert that's got sand and you were able to make a fire and not all of your wood burns up and you've actually got some charcoal, you could filter your stuff, but you're still going to lose most of your water in your filter to the sand and to the charcoal. It is a, if I don't do this, I'm going to die thing. Drinking your urine, that's all it is. It's, today is my last day if I don't do this. I mean, it's that simple. Never done it, never going to try it. That's one of those things that I have no intention of trying until I have to. If I know that I've got to walk 20 miles across the desert and I've got the choice of taking my AR or 2 gallons of water, guess what I'm taking? I'm leaving that gun layer right there at the bed of the truck. I'm going to put a sign on that says Frida, good home. Because you can't drink it. And people, walking 20 miles in the desert, people are, it's just 20 miles. You have no idea. First, your blood pressure goes up because of the heat. Then your blood pressure drops because of dehydration. Then you're dead. I never made it to the dead part. I've suffered heat exhaustion 3 times from that West Texas lovely weather. I've learned my lesson. And that only works if there's humidity, Sister Kate. I've tried that here, the plastic and the sheeting and stuff. It works okay if it's rained in the past few days, but after when the humidity is only like 20%, you don't collect anything. If you're lucky, you get 1 or 2 drops, and those will if you're not up before the sun comes up, you won't get that. And is the amount of water you get from the solar still worth
if you don't.
what you sweat out digging the hole? So, and again, you've got to stay where you're at all night, because it's not a solar still. It doesn't. How do I explain it? It cooks the water. The heat cooks the water out of the ground into the air, and then when the sun goes down and the air cools off, the moisture condenses on the plastic and runs to the center, to the cup in the center. It doesn't condense not in the desert. It does not condense when the sun is up. Now you can do it. You can actually do it if you find a dry riverbed. You can actually be really productive. You can do the tree limbs, but again, that you do during the day. But you have to have plastic that doesn't have a hole in it, and it takes a lot of plastic. It takes a lot of plastic to get enough water to keep you going during the day. And how many bugs or birds or whatever have peed on the outside of them branches that you're collecting? That's tree sweat that you're drinking. It doesn't taste like water. For all of you people that want to know, it doesn't taste like water. It's drinkable, but it does not taste like water. Mesquites are honestly, one of the best trees to do that is with mesquite, because mesquite sweats a lot. Right now, the mesquites have already started dropping their leaves, though, because they have an internal clock. They don't wait for the weather to turn off for them to drop their leaves. After they've done their thing with the beans and everything, they're like, hey, stop wasting energy. So, it's like one of the best thought out trees ever. I mean, their food, their firewood, and their water, all in the same thing. But you actually, I did that thing where you scar the tree, the mesquite tree, and let the sap collect, and it's sweet too. It's a lot of work for very little product, but it worked. I wish I had listened to my wife and got a bigger water catchment system a long time ago, because it's really working well. You are such a good wife. If I could clone you and have 2 of you, I so would. What if I wanted 2 of you because I love you that much? That's rude. I'm gonna shut up now, because I thought of something really funny to say.
Space, Sister Kate. It's going to be space. That's the biggest survival issue.
Yeah,
There really isn't anywhere to go.
Thank you, man.
I was saying this in this stream last week. There's 70 million people living in the UK, and It's 60,000 square miles smaller than California, and California's got 38 million people in it. There's nowhere to go. So if the towns and cities fall and everyone just goes out into the countryside, there's no space for anyone at all.
Anonymous American, you still in here? Or did you bail already? This is, my wife won this from AA. It's part of another kid or whatever. This is really cool. This is a hobo fishing reel.
I have to swim 3,000 miles. That's what I've got to do. Or make a big raft. Because I'm not going to Europe. No way.
If you want to cut down all your trees, then you could have cut down a few trees and made you a boat. Okay, what was the most lucrative industry in the Americas when settlers first arrived? What was the most sought after, or let me rephrase that, one of the most sought after natural resources?
Thanks, Rachel. Appreciated. I live in a city, mate. Because of my job.
Yeah, I think he's answering. He's getting the comments before I am.
Yeah, well, I've got my phone in front of me, and I've also got you on PSN as well, so I can see the comments on the big screen. Thing is, though, I've got 8 to 10 second delay from the phone to PSN.
I don't know what my delay is. That's all I've got open is from what we talk about over here to what I see people asking over here. There's 15, 20 seconds. But yes, timber for timber. They literally, at first, they were cutting the trees down, loading the boats up, and shipping the timber back to Europe. And then they were like, wait, let's just build the ships and sail them back. And then they would build the ship, they would fill them with more trees and send them back because Europe had cut down nearly every tree they had. There was no, I mean, can you imagine 100-foot tall oak tree?
Easily.
They were all over the place when the settlers got here because the natives didn't cut down the trees. I can't imagine 100-foot tall oak tree. I mean, I just can't do it. Never seen one.
Yeah, you're right, werewolf it is. And as soon if I go to Europe, as soon as I open my mouth, you know, they're not going to care about me at all. So it's either Siberia, which is a bit too cold, or the Americas.
Yeah, Norway, they're not that friendly, huh?
Not to us, no.
Aren't the Icelanders, aren't they kind of chill? Aren't they like a bunch of hippies? I'm asking. I don't mean that to be judgmental.
Yeah, but it's tiny.
I've met a couple of them and they all seem
Iceland's tiny. They're not going to accept anyone coming off rafts or boats or, you know, oh, look at me, I'm a survivalist. Not going to care. Look at all my groupie stuff. They're not going to care.
So they want to be able to travel all over the world and enjoy everybody else's stuff, but they're not going to share, huh? Socialist pigs. Sorry, that was mean. If you're from Iceland, I'm very sorry.
It's where Bjork comes from, and what do you expect?
Iceland's full of elves. Yeah. But the answer was trees. I mean, it's literally lumber. They were like, wow. I mean, first everybody's like, where's the gold? And then the guy that's sitting there looking at, they're cutting trees down to build everything. And he's like,
so did lots of countries. Remember, the French hate us until Germany invade. Then we're their best friends. Then when the Germans have gone away, they hate us again. and it's always been like that.
Well, isn't that from way on back in the day when y'all used to kill each other all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, I used to think the people from the South and in the hillbilly country could hold a feud a long time. But, man, you people in Europe, I guess that's where we got it from.
Absolutely sophisticated.
Y'all got feuds going back further than our country existed. I mean, y'all don't get along with Spain still either, do you? Not really. Spain and France. I mean, y'all ain't gonna go to war with them or nothing, but y'all still ain't like best friends.
No, not at all. It took over 100 years to build a tunnel, and that's only because corporations wanted it because it's cheaper. They were talking about digging a tunnel to France in the Victorian times. They just kept on getting put back, and then when they realised it's so much cheaper to haul goods, that's when the tunnel got built.
So dig you a tunnel to America.
I think that's the thing that got discussed a few decades ago as well.
Can you imagine driving that far underwater?
3,000 miles, yeah. Well, from Liverpool to New York's 3,000 miles roughly. So yeah, that's one big tunnel.
Now I could see it if it was what do they call them trains they run in Japan? The bullet trains or whatever,
On Japan.
where they go 200 miles an hour or whatever. Put them in a tube. You know, what would that be? England to New York in a few hours. That would make sense. But the money wouldn't be
15 hours, maybe 15 hours to get from 200 miles an hour, 3,000, yeah, or
the money
15
wouldn't
hours
be in
maybe.
passengers though. The money would be in freight. I mean, you couldn't afford to buy a ticket. I mean, but they could ship goods like it was going out of style. It'd be faster than a boat. But okay, we're getting rid of that dog. Go!
Only in 66 Werewolf. Before my time, that mate.
Where is the sneaky bastard?
Hi, Sask.
Oh, I'm gonna have to kill a dog.
Well, Richard Branson did it, but only just.
Or I wonder if the wind switched directions and I'm blaming the dog, the dairy on the dog. No, that's dog. It's lingering.
Yeah, look how small our island is compared with England. There's nowhere to go there either.
Yeah. It doesn't helium blow up anyway? No, that's that other one.
Halfway the Atlantic and helium goes. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, I'd rather try and look in a canoe.
Ocean going canoes. That's something. That's a fad that needs to come back. When big old Hawaiian thing. That's just hide barking, isn't it? Big old Hawaiian boats or whatever. You know, I wish I could remember I had a bunch of them in my head. I wish I could remember a bunch of the fads that people got going on for prepping or whatever. I know that telling people they got to put their stuff in Mylar, that just annoys the crap out of me. I mean, Mylar bags are a good idea, but they're not a have to have.
See, I think they're quite a modern idea anyway. Like I said this in the side chat before, right? A butcher shop, the ones in England, they have these industrial vac pack machines, and they're not the ones where you put the stuff on the outside and stick a little tube in. You get that you put the meat in the bag, and they put the bag inside this box, and then it's got a metal bar on the top and the bottom of the lid, and that heats up and melts the bag shut, and then it sucks all the air out. So if you have these things, which you should have in your butcher shops, can't see why you can't go and ask if you can use it. Yeah, backpack. Sasquatch knows what I'm talking about. And then you can the sirloin. There's backpack bags that can fit whole sirloins in, or a whole brisket. You can fill that full of rice, put it inside the machine. It'll suck every molecule of air out of it, and they'll last for ages. Well, years, in fact.
Yeah, we got. What's yours called, babe? The vacuum sealer maneuver?
Yeah, well, if you're friendly with your local butcher, I don't see why he wouldn't lend you the vac pack machine for the
We
day.
have a food saver.
Then just keep filling it up. Yeah, that's about right. Our speed limit is 70 miles an hour, but it might be like the autobahn if there's a tunnel under the.
Actually, Sister Kate, you did bring up a prepping fad that everybody needs to get over. Where is it? Watch me not be able to put a hand on it.
Well, did you get my reply, Sasquatch? I did reply to your email.
Dadgummit, it's in my truck. Everybody's got to have a bushcraft knife. No, you don't. You need a knife you know how to use. And I wish Revolta Man was in here. Me and him going to have some words. He needs to quit talking trash about big knives. Big knives have a place in the world. Like wherever I'm at. I can do a whole lot more with a big knife than I can with an axe.
Yeah, same there, Sask. That's just like I said. If I replied to you straight away, it'd be basically like a 1,500 word essay. So I had to try and cut it down to a paragraph. Yeah, my bushcraft knives, a Ralph Martin, not the Ralph Martin Dalgolic that you saw in my video last. I've got a Parachetti which has a 10-inch blade, and that's my bushcraft knife. Yeah, it's wicked.
The button compasses aren't that. The lady that we're redoing the house for, she showed me her dad's wrist compass. That was he got from something. He was a WW2 vet.
Oh, fair enough. I've seen your videos. Really good, by the way.
There was
nice
a wicked
back.
But yeah, metal will throw off anything. If you're standing too close to a metal roof, it'll throw off the compass. You can't, and aluminum's not so bad. Stainless steel is not so bad. If it's a aluminum handle with a stainless steel blade, you're probably good to go. Carbon steel, not so much. What else will guarantee no air? A gasket on the bucket. And oxygen absorbers. I'm not saying that they're not a good idea. I'm saying that quit telling people that you've got to do it this way, or you're wasting your time storing your food. People need the food in their house. They need it in there where it'll last 3 or 4 years. If you're putting food back expecting to just ignore it for 20 years, you're prepping wrong.
You got to keep an eye on it.
I mean, who wants me to stand up and actually get on my soapbox for this? You prep what you freaking eat. You store the food that you eat every day. Why have 1,000,000 pounds of rice if you never eat rice? Why have 20 metric tons of corn if you don't eat cornbread? Does nobody watch Alone and Survivor and stuff like that? All the people that they don't eat red beans at home and then they go on Survivor and that's what they got to eat is red beans and rice and then they have to go home because their body's like, I can't eat this.
I don't watch any of those. I don't have Sky for a start, so I don't watch any of that. And I wouldn't anyway.
Over half of the people that have medicaled out on those shows because their gut couldn't take the food. If you are a meat and potatoes guy and then all of a sudden all the meat's gone and you've got to start shoving carbs and vegetable protein into your body's going to be like, oh, what is this? And you're going to be in pain. Do I need to retell the story? Decided to do the bug out when I went with the Wooded Bridgeman and stuff. The diet change was not good. Ever since then, I've been a big proponent of prep what you eat. The diet change hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's the business, Carol. Yeah, that sounds good. And of
Ooh,
course,
yeah.
rice pudding. Yeah, that is good. Brown gravy as well. Yeah, brown gravy is awesome. We don't have grey gravy in England so much.
And I need to quit. I know I keep telling you I'm going to do it, but I need to. I've been trying all the recipes out on the missus before I actually put them out there for y'all. So I can make some pretty good food from the old prepper pantry, can I? But none of them are conventional meals because we don't eat that kind of stuff. Well, we've been eating it a lot lately because, well, it's good. But like this is out of the prepper pantry. The guy that did a live stream a while ago said something about them when they go out of date, you could get sick. So these are getting close, so I'm going to eat them before they go bad. Salted peanuts. How many people got those in there? I mean, I got peanut butter. These last longer than peanut butter. Yeah, but I can eat them. So
They've got an issue. MRE peanuts. They're all vacuum packed.
I know everybody knows the Idahoan little instant potato packets or whatever. If y'all buy them all up and I can't find any more, just throw them. I'll be upset with y'all. But they've got everything in them. All that you got to put in them is hot water. The big boxes, you got to put all this stuff to make potatoes. the little packages, you just pour hot water. And from personal experience, I know that a guy can take some canned hamburger meat and a packet of taco seasoning and some rotel tomatoes and make a pretty mean can of chili. Or not can, bowl, pot of chili. And then if you take in minced potatoes and split them in half, give half to your wife and you keep half and you make a little bowl out of potatoes. You put that chili that you made from your preference stash up on top of that. Everybody's happy when the meal's over with. I'm just saying, it worked fine. Except those rotels were a little warm. I didn't think about the fact that the rotels were warm and the taco seasoning was warm. So I personally needed more potatoes. Just saying. Or some cheese or some milk or something. I had water. It was delicious but rough. We store corn. I'm not busting on people for storing corn. I'm not saying don't store corn. I'm saying eat the corn now. Teach yourself to eat it now. We made cornbread with deer corn. We went and got deer corn and we run it through the grinder and we used that cornmeal to make cornbread. Nobody knew it was deer corn. So, yeah. Everything will go rancid. But, well, there's very long and then there's longer than some other stuff. People won't eat meat because they open the package and they go, ooh, that's turned off a little bit. But yeah, I do eat bugs off my grill and rats and squirrels and whatever else. But if you like aged beef, there's nothing wrong with a steak that smells a little strong. Now, if it smells flat rotten, don't eat it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you need your gut to be a little bit more like that of a coyote and a little bit less like that of an elf. See, I threw that Norway people under the bus because they all like squishy, squishy. Or not Norway, Iceland. Don't eat these. Don't feed too many of these to your dog either. They're actually like health food things or whatever. They're like vitamins, and I didn't know that. My daughter just left them here, so I was just giving a handful of them to my dog, and apparently the little hearts are like full of fish oil, and my dog wasn't used to that much fish oil. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, I guess where I was stunned at is I didn't get what do you call it? Crowder peas. Explain. Give me a different word for those. Was that supposed to be cow peas? If you're calling them cow peas, man, we're gonna have issues. You and that lovely short lady in the other room in there with the cow pea business. I love black-eyed peas, man. They're not cow peas. They're black-eyed peas. They're black-eyed peas, not cowpeas. And okay, black-eyed peas, the snap ones or the shelled ones that are still green or whatever, they're not that good. Okay, I give you that. Canned black-eyed peas are not the most delicious thing ever. Dried black-eyed peas that you soak and then cook like you would red beans are delicious. Oh, see, man, I couldn't tell you what lima beans taste like anymore. I love lima beans. There's some things that's just not allowed to be cooked in this house. Um, I love chicken and dumplings. I do. No chicken and dumplings up in this house. I can't add chicken dumplings here. Can't have cobblers here.
You have cobblers here, yeah.
Oh, has anybody ever had blackberry dumplings? Tell me the truth. C103, you better say you've had blackberry dumplings. Or you're going to have to move. You need to move north about 500-600 miles.
Bramley apple cobblers, ask.
No, they're not, Ted Simmons. That's what uncouth people with no love of real food call them. Wes can have my share of the lima. Man, I love lima beans. I even like navy beans.
Yeah, I got a load of navy. Some of them are in cans with tomato sauce.
There was a place here that used to serve cherry cobbler. Oh, that was so good. Because the difference between cherry cobbler and peach cobbler around here is the people don't put that cinnamon in the cherry cobbler. They always want to put so much cinnamon in the peach cobbler, it's disgusting. Now, the place we eat a lot, they make peach cobbler, but you can tell they sprinkled some cinnamon in the room when they were making the cobbler. Just enough to cinnamon. You're not eating cinnamon flavored peaches. You're eating peach cobbler with a hint of cinnamon. It's completely different. If you got to put so much cinnamon in your cobbler that's all you can taste, that means you don't know how to make cobbler and you're ruining your fruit. You're trying to cover up the rotten peaches you put in. Clotted cream, I don't know what that one is.
Clotted cream, it's just great. That's what it is.
Potato wedges. I don't know what a JoJo is. It's potato wedges. When you cut the potato in half, and then you cut the halves in half, and then you cut those halves in half, or those quarters in halves, cut it into eighths, and then you batter them and deep fry them. It's called potato wedges.
Always ends up with food talks, Sister Kate.
How does it always roll around to food?
Pretty much.
Because, we were talking food. It's potato wedges. You're from California and you moved to Hawaii. You don't get a vote. I should know what those are, but I don't. closer to the north. We called them Georgia. Jokingly about. Oh wow. Okay. They even have potatoes in Alaska? Aren't those grapes? Why don't I just call them grapes? Can't get no grapes around here for all the coyotes and the mockingbirds and stuff. They're like, ooh, something purple. Let's go eat that. I didn't get a single one of the lotebush berries this year. Well, that makes sense. I mean, potatoes like cool weather. Texas caviar. I ain't never heard of that. If that's the blackberry cobbler, that may be what it is. Oh, I never heard of it. I was just saying black-eyed peas matter. Um, if you have not had a pie from a Pennsylvania Dutch real family, sorry. Oh, and I don't get pies. If I would learn to bake, I could have pies. But yeah, people put cinnamon and peach cobbler around here, dude. I ain't even messing with you. And it's really hard to get a good apple pie too, because people want to put too much cinnamon in there. It's supposed to accentuate the other flavors. It's supposed to help bring out other flavors. It's not supposed to be the flavor. I mean, literally just a hint. So far to date, nobody has ever put cinnamon in anything that had anything to do with pears. So at least I get that right. Yeah, JoJo's a clown at the circus. We have down here we have giant pretzels at the circus, and popcorn and elephants. And you can get candied apples, but I don't trust those because it's a clown that gives them to you.
It's a pie made out of kidney meat, and it's usually steak and kidney.
You put cinnamon in your pear stuff, Sister Kate? Is that what you just said? That's
If you're going to make a kidney pie on its own, make sure you put in onion and other bits and pieces. In fact, I've got a steak kidney pie in the pantry. Do cooking it up.
Hey, does what? Why in the world would you put cinnamon on meat?
It's a free Benton's ask. You know, pie in a can. Why don't you make it yourself, David? Yeah, so that's
Why
what I'm
don't
talking
you just
about.
take the kidneys out, take the sack off, and take that little whatever that thing is where everything connects off, cut it into little slices, bread it, and deep fry it. Instead of
Eel
why
pie
don't
is
make a
so
pie out
good.
of it. I've never had eel.
Yes, nice. It's nice. It's getting from the Trent. It's a
All right,
river.
now y'all are just messing with me, right?
Pickled eel and eel pie. It's great stuff. Yeah, we call that black pudding in England. And yeah, it's great.
What happened? This may be fitting to be over anyways. Ooh, I just looked at the time. I gotta limit this. I ran over my limit. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna pay for StreamYard. Just cause. Never had haggis or black pudding. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'll let the blood go on the ground. I don't do the blood. All right. Rachel and Sister Kay and somebody else that said something about putting cinnamon on meat and coffee, putting cinnamon in coffee. This I know you're gonna be like, I just love it when the winter time comes around and you can get whatever spice coffee. Pumpkin spice coffee.
Yeah. Pies are mostly some sort of meat pie, mince pie, steak and kidney. We've got apple pie.
You're welcome, Chipper. Have a good night. I'm only catching part of a conversation from the other room. We've been on here 2:40. I am going to let y'all go in case it's what I think it is. Vehicular emergency. So,
36-ounce Cornish pasty. Yeah, that's the business.
but appreciate y'all. I hate to cut it off like this, but anyway, love all you people. Y'all still alive. Don't die. I'll see y'all Tuesday night.
See you later, guys and girls. Take care.
Yep. God bless y'all. See you later, Abe.